So hello! On this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My name is Aster, and in today's video we are going to discuss the question, or the title of the video, if you should be 100% open about being a witchcraft practitioner everywhere that you go with everybody. Should you do that? Why or why not? That's the discussion of today, so I invite you to grab a beverage and get ready to share your own thoughts in the comments down below, because I do want this discussion to get heated. Once again, I do apologize for the lighting. Using artificial lighting is not my favorite, but once again, I was very busy during the day and I couldn't film earlier, but better late than never. Isn't that so? Let's get into it. Wait a minute. Before we start, let's take a minute to hear a word from today's sponsor, which is myself. Did you know that I have opened a store? Yeah, that's right. Over there you can find all my ebooks that contain some juicy bits of occult knowledge that I share, and you don't want to miss out on that. And also private readings that combine tarot and Lenormand cards, as you already know them, with some extra spice of Afro-Brazilian knowledge. But the best part is that the products on the store start at only $3. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know, I'm also on Patreon. And over there I share extra exclusive content like spell tutorials, behind the scenes of my life, exclusive Patreon videos, unfiltered book reviews, weekly readings, and much more for only 1 cup of coffee per month. So if you like what I do on the internet and would like to support my work somehow, check out the links in the description to take a look at everything that I offer. Now, with that being said, let's get back to the video. I have had some things happening in my personal life in recent times that really got me thinking about this topic, and they were the motivation for me to think about putting up a video talking about it. I'm not gonna go deep into detail about what happened, but I had some awkward, a little bit disappointing experiences with people that are still present in my life, so I'm not gonna disclose everything, but it did make me believe that this topic needs to be brought up to discussion. So I am publicly a witchcraft practitioner, folk magic based more specifically, and especially in Brazilian folk magic, the things that I learned with my foremothers and with my culture of origin. I decided to join social media in 2022. Whoa, it's been 2 years already. Time does fly, my god. On the internet, it is very easy for me to be open about my practice because I am most of the time talking to people who don't know me on a personal level. People who are all over the world. People who, most of you will probably never see me in person, and I feel very safe. It is weird and interesting, right, that I feel safe to talk about something that holds such a big place in my life with strangers rather than with people who know me and people who are in contact with me regularly. That's funny, isn't it? Well, most people in my family don't know that I have this YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, the only person who knows about it, actually 2, is one of my nieces, but she doesn't speak English, so I'm not really sure how much she understands of what I'm doing. I'm not sure if she actually knows that I have a YouTube channel because she follows me on Instagram, so she gets to see a few things that I post. She does know that I work with Pombagira and everything, but I'm not sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if she's aware that I have a YouTube channel about all of this. But the only person who knows for sure that I have a YouTube channel talking about all of this is my mother, and she's of course very supportive of my content. Sometimes she leaves comments on my YouTube videos, even though she does not speak English either. And many of the things that I know today, I learned by observing her. She never really had the intention of passing down knowledge to me. It just happened naturally because I would see her doing little things. Other people in my family, they don't know. Like some of my sisters, they know that I read tarot cards, and that's about it. They don't know much more about it. I've never mentioned to them that I call myself a witch out there because they are Christians. I would say that 99% of my family is composed by Christians, like Protestants, which in Brazil are the most extreme type. They are very conservative, and I think it's such a pity. It's so much wasted spiritual potential in my family. But well, it kind of skipped a generation. Like my grandparents, they were very spiritual. Then the generation of my mother and father and uncles and aunts, it got a little bit mixed because some people, they started with folk-based practices and then they migrated into Christianism, especially being Protestant. And then my generation, sisters, siblings, let's say, cousins, they are Christians. So I think me and my mother, we are basically the only people in the entire family from both sides, my mother and my father's side, we are the only ones that are into this type of spirituality. And that's kind of surprising if I think about it. Of all of those people who, like, with whom I share blood, none of them have a similar type of spirituality, and if they would know what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure that they would turn their backs on me, most of them. So I preferred to keep my internet project to myself pretty much. People who know me from my hometown, very few of them are on my Instagram account. I have allowed this to very few people because we never know. If someday I go back there, I don't want to be received with pitchforks and torches, you know? And Christianism is everywhere, and it really boggles me that Christianism is the only religion that, no, it's not the only, but because it is very present in my culture of origin, it is the only religion that I see actively trying to tell other people how to lead their lives, what to believe in, like going out there, my religion is the best, my religion is correct, and yours is wrong. Like, I don't see Buddhists doing that. I don't see Umbanda practitioners trying to convince anybody to join their religion. Christians, they have something about them. I'm so sorry if you are a Christian watching right now, but leave people be, okay? You do not hold the absolute truth of spirituality. Let people make their own choices. This is a free country, okay? Both Brazil and France, where I live now, free countries, okay? Stop trying to push your beliefs onto other people because other people are not doing that with you. So like, what the heck? Anyway, I decided to be very private about my practices, my beliefs, my spirituality with people who know me, people from my family, people from my hometown. But then upon arriving here, I don't know what has come into me, but for some reason I thought it would be a good idea to just, you know, give my Instagram to people and then followers of followers, like followers in common kind of thing, and then people would start following me and all of a sudden I have a reputation of a witch. And what are the implications of that? If somebody had the chance of getting to know you on a deeper level, being your friend, seeing how you behave, who you are as a person, before you disclose your witchcrafty spiritual path to them, that's a good approach because that person, they like you, they trust you, they had the chance of getting to know who you actually are. And if you tell them, oh, I practice this spiritually, they will not be that surprised or weirded out by it, they will probably find it kind of cool. And if you allowed that person to get that close to you, become friends with you, it means that they probably have enough of an open mind to, accept you for who you are anyway. But if you are just randomly open and allow people that you've just met to have access of that part of who you are, chances are that you are going to receive some reactions that you were not expecting, and that's what happened to me. It's 2024 and I thought that people would be better than this, but to my surprise, I found that people in the Middle Ages are not that different from people alive today. There's still a lot of prejudice, seriously, a lot of prejudice and misconceptions and preconceived notions about who are witches, what they do, and that you should stay away from them. So everybody thinks that apparently I spend all of my time building voodoo dolls and sticking needles into them. That's a comment that I get a lot, very often. And yeah, those, it doesn't really bother me, the little jokes and things like that. What does bother me is to see people that I like distancing themselves from me. And I thought with myself, well, why could this be? We got along super well up until now. What could have happened? What did I do? And then I thought, oh, probably it's because you are a Christian and you are afraid that I would put a spell on you or something. People seem to think that a witch is just waiting for them to do something wrong. Like our lives revolve around them and we are just waiting for an opportunity to hex the hell out of them. Like we have nothing else to do, and the life of a witch consists of being evil, and the only thing that a witchcraft practitioner does is to spread mischief all over the world. And that's not true. If you pay attention to my channel, you will see that a lot of my content is about actually personal, how can you develop personally through witchcraft? How can you improve your life? How you can love yourself better? How you can achieve goals. It's about using the magic to your own advantage, not necessarily to make somebody else's life miserable. Can we do that? Yes, we can, so don't fuck with us. But that doesn't mean that we are just waiting for an opportunity to do that, because there are consequences to casting hexes randomly, okay? We're not going about our day doing that randomly and on a whim just because we want to. As practitioners, we know better. We know about karma. We know about the energetical consequences that we could face if we just hack somebody out of nowhere. That's not how it works. So the whole thing shows me how much prejudice still exists in the 21st century when it comes to witches. People know nothing about us or what we do, and people are afraid of what they don't know, what they don't comprehend, and it is a very peculiar situation to be in. I assure you that. It's been centuries since the Inquisition times, and people still are afraid of witches. Like, the brainwashing that the Catholic Church did in the Middle Ages was so potent that now, 2024, people are still afraid of anyone who call themselves a witch. Something similar also happened within my household. I have flatmates, and you can't really hide your spiritual practices from people who are literally under the same roof as you. So my flatmates, they are aware that I do a few different things, and they are afraid of me also. One of them is a Christian, and the other one, I'm not sure if she has a religion, I don't think so, but I can see that they are afraid of me, both of them. Once I was making vinegar out of wine. I'm not gonna say for what purpose, but I needed to leave the bottle overnight, and at the time I left it on the living room table. I thought there wouldn't be any problem. And I just told my flatmates, hey, I'm gonna leave this spell on the table overnight. Please don't touch it. And then I had one of my flatmates sometime later ask me like, hey, those spell things, what are they for? And I answered, well, it depends. It can be for many purposes. It's gonna depend on your intention. And she asks, this one with the bottle of wine, what's that for? And I said, it's a secret. I mean, it's none of your business. If you were supposed to know, I would have told you, right? I didn't say that. I only said it was a secret. And I could feel the nervous laughter through the text she sent. And then sometime later, long time later, I was literally, I felt accused, you know? I use a lot of salt in my practice. On Patreon the other day, I taught how to make witch salt, for example. I use a lot of salt. And the other day, I had one flatmate ask me, like, I felt accused. She asked me if I had put salt on her door. And I was like, I was very surprised because maybe I spilled it on the corridor and I didn't notice, I didn't see. I use a lot of salt, not only for my spiritual practice in itself, but also for cleaning out some ingredients, drying down animal parts, so on and so forth. So I could have spilled some on the ground without noticing, and then immediately she thought it was something against her. And I was like surprised with such a reaction, but also in my mind, girl, get over yourself. You think you're that important that I would waste my salt on you? Honey, please. Anyway, I found the whole situation kind of insulting, and of course it has nothing to do, there's no comparison with Inquisition, somebody asking, hey, did you put salt on my door? But I felt the accusation, you know, and I felt cornered. It was really not cool. That's just an example. I had other things happening outside of my like flatmates situation here. I had other situations of people pulling away and getting distance from you without nothing happening. I mean, I said it wrong. Without, like, nothing happened. And some people just take distance from me. That was very hurtful and I got very sad for a moment. We are humans and we need, this is a human need, a human emotional need. It is inbuilt in us. We have the need of feeling accepted in groups. And wherever we are, that this doesn't happen, it hurts physically even. It is an emotional wound that has physical consequences. So the feeling of not being accepted, of being rejected, especially by people that you like, it is very hurtful. You can say anything you want to me or to yourself. We are humans and that's how we function. And I even discussed it for a moment with some of my Patreon members on the Discord server, and I screenshotted one message that a member sent. I'm not gonna disclose their name or anything, but they wrote the following. Aster, I'm so, like, on the Discord server, I went into details about stuff that was happening to me, and their response was this one. Aster, I'm so sorry this happened to you. To give you a bit about me, I was raised Catholic, and in my teens I converted to born again Christian. I never felt connected, but I went through the motions. 3-4 years ago, I discovered Santeria and witchcraft, and I haven't looked back. I found my path. The Orishas are incredible, and I see them working in my life daily. When some family and friends found out, they pulled back. Some unfriended me on social media. At work, I am a manager, and some of my co-workers keep their distance. They go do things together and leave me out. I'm good. They're not for me or on my path. It hurt at first, but I'm good. Yes, this message makes completely, total sense because yeah, at first it hurts because, as I have just said, we are humans, we are built a certain way, like it or not. But then you take some time to reflect, to think, and you come to the conclusion, exactly as this person said, those people, they are not for me. They're not for my path. This is just the universe showing me who is meant to be in my life and who isn't. And as I have mentioned on other videos, your vibe attracts your tribe. There are going to be people who will love you, adore you, for you exactly as you are, with all your quirks and your particularities and your weirdness and your witchiness as well. Some people will fall in love with you and like want to be your friend, or be in your life and get to know you better for just because of who you are. Some people will be distant. Let them go, let them leave. Hold the door open for them to leave. I know that at first it hurts, it is disappointing. You get surprised that somebody would take distance from you just because of a spiritual practice, and unconventional one, but it is surprising and hurtful at first that people would actually do this in 2024. So at first you're going to be surprised and sad with this, but after some time you will realize that you are loved by so many other people, that those who turn their back on you because you are a witch, they will not be missed in your life whatsoever. Because the people who are meant to be in your path, they will give you so much attention and love and everything that you need, that you are going to completely forget about the other ones who turned their backs on you because of you being who you are, you see. Then after those experiences, I asked myself, well, what's the right measure then? I tried to be completely open and honest about my practice with everybody, and that doesn't seem to get good results. Once I am in a next phase of my life, a next stage, I'm not gonna be that open about my practice anymore. But then again, this is a big part of who I am and of the things that I do in my life. Am I going to have to hide who I am? I really gave all of this a long thought. I really thought long and hard about all of this, and I came to the conclusion that it's not about hiding who you are either, because this is part of your life. This is part of who you are. Trying to hide who you are from everybody, that's not the way to go either. Because some people, they will want to get to know the unfiltered version of you and who you are for real. If you try to hide yourself from them, then they are going to pull away because they will think you are not being transparent about who you are and you are keeping things from them, and that's also not desirable. You see, if you have a friend and you have a feeling that they're always hiding something from you, that's gonna feel sketchy and weird and you are going to leave, right? So you don't want to do that with people who are in your life either. Then finally, I came to the conclusion that it's not about being 100% open with everybody about your spiritual practice, but it's also not about hiding it forever at all costs from everyone. It's about being selective regarding who will know that you are a witch. You're not gonna arrive at the office and let everybody know that you do those things, that you call yourself a witch, a witchcraft practitioner, because there will be two groups: the people who will ridicule you and the people who will be afraid of you. And none of those options are fun to deal with. So if somebody becomes really close to you, becomes friends with you, somebody comes into your personal life, they should know. Not everything, because some stuff we do is weird. You know that some stuff that we do is really weird, and even people who love us a lot, they could find us a little bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Eccentric. Even for people that really love us, some of the stuff that we do in our practice could be too eccentric for them. So we don't need to share everything and show everything, because even our loved ones could misunderstand this at some point, unless they are practitioners as well. But the people who are in your life, the people who are your friends, your significant other, they should have access of that part of your life too. Not everything, I repeat. But they should at least know what you do. It is kind of hurtful at first to see people that you like taking distance and showing signs that they are afraid of you without you having done anything against them. It is very disappointing, it is very frustrating, and it is sad. But if people want to misunderstand you and show how much prejudice they carry, let them go, and just keep being who you are. Keep on doing your thing, and the right people will show up and love you exactly how you are. Now I want to know your thoughts about this topic. Make sure to share them in the comments down below. And remember, practice makes perfect, darling. So let's keep witching. Bye bye.